Hey, good evening YouTube. It's Friday night and another update video on this here Philco that I've been working on. As you may or may not be able to tell, it's been cleaned up. That's the face. You can kind of see where the dark part of the dial printing was, because it's not faded there, but the rest of it's yellow. That's unfortunately as cleaned up as it gets. It's just the plastic is yellowed some with age, but it's pretty old, so that's all right. Back here, this looks a little different. It's not all covered in dust. It's actually in very good shape underneath all the dirt. I guess it was preserved. It's not, corroded or pitted or anything like that. So that's always a pleasant surprise. Also, if anyone watched the last video on this, you realize that obviously I don't know how to count. I said it was a 5-tube radio. There are 6 tubes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, anyway, this is actually not a standard AA6, as I initially thought. A typical AA6 radio, 6-tube series string type thing like this, has an RF amplifier, and it'll have an RF amplifier, a mixer oscillator, an IF, a detector, an audio amp, and a rectifier tube. And well, this one doesn't do that. It uses 2 IF stages, which is sort of odd. As you can see, there's only 2 sections on the condenser there. A tuned RF stage would have 3. An untuned RF would still be 2, but let's see, tube line up here. 14AF7, that is your mixer oscillator. It's a twin triode instead of the pentagrid converter that a lot of things used. These are 2 7B7s. These are both this is the first IF, this is the second IF. This is the 7C6, which is the detector / AVC tube. This is a 50X6, it's the rectifier, and a 35L6 is the output tube. So you're good for a whole 3 watts or so of audio power. The power supply in this is sort of interesting. It's not just a standard rectified line voltage. It actually uses this. This is a dual vacuum diode, and the way it's designed, it's actually wired as a voltage doubler, which is sort of neat. So it's actually got about 230 volts of plate voltage instead of the 150 or so that most things that use this sort of a rectifier had. So that's kind of interesting. Good old Philco. Gotta have something unique. But well, here we are under the hood, and as you can hopefully tell, it's got some new parts in there. This is all recapped. I replaced that big wax thing with a terminal strip that has 3 capacitors on it. Those are 450 volt caps. The originals were 250s. All the yellow caps are all 630 volt. The only thing I changed in here is this disc cap. It was a 400 volt 0.05 microfarad, and it's now a 0.01 safety cap. So if it shorts, which the original one had shorted, it will not short out the power cord. I will put a fuse in here. I just don't happen to have any more fuses. I forgot to pick more up today. So I will install a fuse holder, and it will get a new plug. It has I replaced the cord, but I'm using a very old plug on it at the moment because I forgot to pick those up as well. So I will be out tomorrow at the store, and I'll pick up some parts. But anyway, what everyone really wants to know is, what's the fun in just looking at a radio? Does it play music? Or does it play something? Or does the smoke come out? So we're going to fire this baby up and show you that it is indeed working. I don't know why the camera is flashing. Hopefully it's not going to blow up. Let's see, that is the tone control, that's the volume.
I couldn't really, I only made a couple of pats on the front 9. I hit every single green.
That was a 7-3 drive win. Company shooting. Introducing us.
I don't know.
Right here. said, oh yeah, we only made one change. Just.
Well, anyway, as you can see, it does work. It actually works fairly well. I don't have the proper antenna loop on it. The original cabinet has a large piece of, looks like 14 gauge solid copper. It goes all the way around the perimeter. I'm just using my long wire antenna, and the other end of the loop is just, you know, it's this wire here. It would probably perform somewhat better with the loop and connected to the external antenna jack, but I don't have the cabinet here. So this is what I've got to work with. I will retweak it when I put it back in its home and make sure the dial is lined up and all that fun stuff. So, next project is on the record changer up there. But anyway, something I did forget to mention on this, it had, well, you're not going to be able to read this, but it had a 7A7 tube in there instead of the 7B7. They're approximately similar, but the 7A7 has a different heater current rating, which you can't do in a series string set, and it was shorted. And see, the 14AF7 had a short. The 7C6 had, I think one of the detector diodes was bad, or the ABC diode checked bad, and the other 7A7 was weak, or 7B7, I'm sorry, was weak. The 50X6 I picked up because it was fairly inexpensive. The one in the radio is fine, but I got a spare. I also bought a 35L6, but there's a 50L6 in the box, so unfortunately no spare for that one, and I don't have one here either. But this tube is actually very strong. It's in good shape, so no problems with that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and when I get my stuff together here and I get the record changer going, I will make an update video on that. Hopefully that won't be too long. Have a good one.